today, let us do the best that we can and respect for each other, and even for this woman. I pray that she has a good mind and listens to us in a good way, and that we're approaching her in a good way. And I thank you all for coming in and loving and being together. We all are part of life, not more than life, not less than life. We're all sacred beings. We've been given the precious mystery of life. I love it when the sun is colder than I thought. I like it. I like all of this life that we have, whether standing. Let's think about and remember all of the people that come before us. That's why we're here. They were very strong, and they gave us knowledge, and it's in us. All in us is called genetic memory. We have all of that from all of these things and all of the years, the thousands of years that we've been on this planet, on Mother Earth. So let's continue to take care of that and think about it in a good way. And thank you all for the love that you will. What was exactly Michael? Never.
Yeah. So if we just go down the street and turn around, it'll kind of make a little turn back around. The first street is Cascade. Yeah.
Hey, get the match of this one?
You need a righty? I got two rights.
I don't think I have a lot.
Klaso kamati omato, klaso kamati atatonatiu, klaso kamati tonantinklali, klaso kamati abuelitas, and all the ones that came before, and all the little ones to come. Elder women, please stand in front. The smoke should not go in front of you. And Guy and Hillary, for all you do, can you stand also with her? And Tessa as well. We pray for your people, Tessa. I know they're on the front lines right now. So please, we will go behind you.
Want me to hold one of those here? Or you get
All right. Trying to get myself to the second broadcast point. Just getting some recording for a second. Could you hold it while I put this glove on? That's huge. Thank you. Like that.
good to see you, bud.
Good to see you, man. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good catch up.
Certainly layered and prepared.
Yes. Always wear layers. Hey, can I get you to hold that for half a second?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was
Good morning, sir. What do you think about this group of people coming through your neighborhood this morning?
Oh, I think it's a wonderful thing.
Are you familiar with line 3?
Oh yeah, I'm
the
totally
Minnesota
against
problem?
it. Totally against it. I think this is a wonderful thing.
So you do know that one of your neighbors is a board member?
I heard about that. Yeah, yeah. So she's really in a position to do something.
She absolutely is here in Boulder and you know, the beautiful state of Colorado, where on this frigid day.
Yeah, yeah.
So
thanks so much for your work.
Thank you.
Abuelitos, abuelitas, escuchan mi palabra de cariño, mi amor. Oh, yana, yana, wana, oh, yana, wana, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh. Good morning. My name is Charles Morris. I come from the White Mountain Factory Nation and the Johnny And I'm not going to say too much because I'm in a time of mourning right now. It's indicated by my hair. I cut off all my hair because I'm in mourning. I'm going to ask Brian not to film this right now. But what I do want to say is that
Good morning. Will you tell us what you got going on over here?
Huh?
Will you tell me what's going on over here?
In terms of everything?
Yeah, well, you got a little table, looks like some water, first aid, some food.
Yeah. So, we've got some hot beverages. It's like 6 degrees outside. We've got some food for whoever's thirsty or hungry.
And why would you have this kind of table up? I feel like I'm on a pretty residential neighborhood right now.
Oh, yeah.
So why do you have this table set up today?
So, because we're actually outside the Teresa who is on the board of directors for the Enbridge Corporation. So, for folks out there who don't know, the Enbridge Corporation is right now pushing through the Line 3 project in northern Minnesota, violating Indigenous rights and violating treaty rights. So we are gathered here today with some Indigenous friends and allies, basically just taking our message to her door that no, we can't have tar sands pipelines in the year 2021. Like fossil fuel infrastructure, that ship has sailed.
So why has the fossil fuel infrastructure ship sailed?
Because, well, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change in 2018 said that we've had 18 months to basically totally redo basically how the world is built and reduce our fossil fuel consumption if we are to have any hope. This is what the climate scientists.
So what do you think about this glorious use of fossil fuels in the modality of a dusting of snow coming off the driveway? Is that I was told to move. Well, they told me not to record, so I got to move over here. What do you think of this snowblower being used over here for this powdering of dust?
Kind of ruining our home, but guess he's a neighbor in the neighborhood, and looks like he's almost done.
I know. The point being that there's so little snow out here that it's an excessive use and waste.
Yeah, I
to be
probably just use a broom.
Right. I mean, that's how little snow is dusting is out here today. And so this kind of mentality of getting off of fossil fuels is means that we got to stop building the long-term 50 to 100-year infrastructure. And why would it be important on this specific line 3? I heard it runs through the Mississippi River.
It crosses underneath the Mississippi River twice, and it actually crosses hundreds and hundreds of different water sources, lakes, streams, all through northern Minnesota. So yeah, there's a lot of potential for contamination, especially being in the Great Lakes region, you know, where North America is pretty much something like 95% of North America's fresh water supply is in that area.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and hit this, now that she's gone.
Well, we will never be the same after COVID. We've already lost so much this year. For you to forget us now is your loss, not ours. I say this because I have put two children in this world, and it's not okay to forget that they need water. You might not care, but I do. So I drag myself here and anywhere I need to for them. Their way to it. So women like you should remember to be life givers. Remember that we can still sue you for public endangerment. And if you're gonna be in the corporate world, y'all have personhood. Tell yourself as moral people. Line 3 not only needs to stop because it kills our water, but it needs to stop because it kills our children. And as the mamas that safeguarded my life, a community that still stands for it today, no matter how fragmented we are, I thank you for being here. And anyone within earshot to understand the importance of stopping this for our future generations surviving. Now all of ours. But I thank you for always standing on the front lines first, Indigenous communities, and reminding us with your heart what it really means to be human. Ometo. Ava, would you like to give me one more? We're gonna do a danza. Again, thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you, Sister Sarah, for speaking very important today. Those of you that have going to actually praying again in front of this woman's house. We're going to have those of you that would like to participate in the diet. Go ahead and lay down. And go ahead and lay down and stay for as long as you'd like. Stay until the end of the prayer, or you can stay until the end of our danza. So whatever you feel deep, or however you're connected to do, so I'm not asking those of you to participate if you do not feel welcome to. But if for those of you that do, please go ahead and do that way. Okay, for prayer. Someone go tell them about the prayer. Don't worry. I don't have a man. Don't worry.
Honestly, I'd like Tessa to speak on, because she can give from her perspective. And if you don't mind doing a half behind us, having the diet in front of her, and moving behind us for Tessa, that's okay. So those that are doing the diet, willing to risk your life, stand in the street, right here. A half moon, there's a half moon all around us. Yes. A little closer to each other. So bring it down. Thank you, Rachel. Buju, Iritabanese, and Disneykan. Kanemating First Nation and Dundiba. Meshi Benesi and Odeb. Thank you for coming out here today. I know it's a cold day, but I cannot help but be reminded that the North is with us now as we stand for the North, and for our water, and for our relatives. I'm Anishinaabe. This pipeline directly affects my people and the communities that I come from. I've been watching and paying attention to Line 3, and we have women literally getting arrested nearly every day. You know, I watched a video of a mother who she was live streaming from the back of a police car, and she demanded the police officer bring her a breast pump so that when she gets to jail, she can pump. That's sacrifice when you leave your baby to stand for Mother Earth and for water. That's sacrifice that's greater than what we know and understand. I thank you all for being here today. It's unusual to me that we're in Boulder, Colorado, where an Enbridge member lives, because we know we have this idea of who Boulder people are. Minus that guy over there who's complicit in genocide. We can't even take a break for 2 minutes. A different way of life is possible than pipelines. I know because I built a solar farm in North Denver. A solar farm. You know, these pipelines are not the way for us, and they're going to contribute to our genocide. So thank you all for being here today. This is a really important day. I was supposed to be at Enbridge at Line 3 today, but due to, emergencies, I couldn't go. And instead, this opportunity came about. And I thought, how can I let everyone here stand for my people when I can't even wake up and go myself? So thank you, Miigwech, for being here today. We know we're not alone. The relatives are flying. I saw them this morning. So we're not alone today. And thank you to our little diehard out here. Thank you. Be good. All right, consented. Let's come in.
Every bustle is a stage of a woman's life. From children, to women, to life-giving, and the last one, we scatter in all directions. Never forget that. Mamato. Okay, at this time, because there were so many of you that called, I want to ask one of you organizers to speak at this time on why you're here today. So, Dave, Jesse, Paula, and I'm calling you out. Yeah, we're all like to speak. But it's really nice to speak. Hear from one of you all. Here, Nick, I'm gonna close it real quick with these two. I don't even know. We're just closing.
Good afternoon, folks. For those of you who have been watching and joining us, we are in Boulder, Colorado. We're outside of the home of one of the board members for Enbridge, company that is pushing tar sand pipeline number 3 through Minnesota in and out of the Mississippi River. So, folks, as I was saying, we're in Boulder, Colorado. The Enbridge #3 pipeline going through Minnesota would cross the Mississippi River twice. And one of the problems with this is definitely that it could poison the river.
Yeah, so we're in a quiet suburb of Boulder, Colorado, thousands of miles from Line 3. And the woman who lives in that house has a direct say over the atrocities that are happening in the unceded territory of the Anishinaabe, the Ojibwe, of those people. She gets to decide. And, you know, it puts us as people in the front range of Colorado in a very unique position because we get to put pressure on her right here at her house and let all of her neighbors know that she is participating in this. And that's the main reason I think that I and all of us can be here right now. It's you know, she's completely unaffected and unimpacted by the harm that she is causing to not only the Indigenous peoples in the land called, or the state called Minnesota, but as well as, you know, non-native people in Minnesota and future generations to come that are going to suffer from the environmental degradation that will happen from Line 3. I think that's all I have to say. I do want to let folks know that we will be back here again next Friday doing a different action. I don't know if everyone will be here or if we'll be able to have dancing happen, but there will be another action next Friday. So, thank you.
I always ask people, how are you a good ancestor now? Because you're a living ancestor now. And your ancestors, whether they were good or bad, contributed to you. So say one word around the circle before we close. So this could be all of our polluters. Because your first prayer is normally your breath into this world. And even for our way, you don't exist until you breathe first out of your mother. So, camera, how are you a good ancestor now in one word? It could be fun, it could be whatever.
Mitigation.
So, Hillary, sorry.
I think about being a good ancestor is being really conscious of what we're doing, right? We have to be really conscious of each other because this is people's livelihood. This is our life. And, you know, many of you don't know me, but I'm from Standing Rock, and I know exactly what it's like to be directly affected by a pipeline and how my people have to suffer and how I have to worry about my community and my grandmother and grandparents worrying about being affected not only for our drinking water, but what comes with that, right? What comes along with it. And even this dying, we must be conscious of what we're doing because usually we're borrowing it from our ancestors, right? I'm Lakota, and in our culture, it's very ceremonial when you paint your face or you paint each other. So when we do these things, you have to remember how to be conscious of what you're doing and how you do it and how it's going to affect other people, because a lot of people, like this woman here, is a very selfish woman, and she thinks that she can go about her life, and what makes her life any more better than any of ours, right? Or our children or their children's children, right? And you know, I'm glad I know where she lives now because I feel like making her uncomfortable every day of her life because my people are uncomfortable every day of their life. So remember why we're doing this. We do this for our children and our children's children. But remember what our ancestors had to sacrifice just for all of us to stand here, to be here. You know, it's a lot and you have to carry that with you. So I hope all of you carry that and keep this spirit, keep that fire lit, stay close to the fire. Thank you.
To be a good ancestor with resilience. Self-determination.
Vigilance and support. Sacrifice.
Being grounded. Intention. Real solidarity.
Monitoring the truth.
Memory.
Accountability to my loved ones. Love of self and others. Being genuine. Persistent. Gentle and kind and strong defense. Internationalism. Listening.
Reciprocity with all beings.
Commitment. Love.
Any guidance? Would you like to give one word? Perseverance.
Reparation.
Action.
Connection.
Sovereignty. Rebellion.
Love. For mine, compassion work and unity. We cannot get this done if we don't unify. And we can't do this if we don't have the patience and compassion to help each other through each of our traumas with no judgment and with love in our heart and readiness. Ometo, thank you. So we planted our prayers. Thank you for all those that have come out. I appreciate you for all you are and all you do. Please do round up. Thank you for making those uncomfortable that need to be uncomfortable. Oh no.
Hi, friends. I'm going to try to get a few more words. So what are you thinking about while you're laying down there, besides it being cold?
Mostly about Teresa Madden living here. Comfort, doesn't bother to come out, see what's going on. Hasn't replied. We had an open letter that we sent to her. There was press that has looked for a statement from her, and there's nothing. So we need to hear what she has to say about her actions.
How do you feel about the overall aspects of line 3? What does it mean to you to prevent this line from going in?
You know, I was out there in January, and there's so many different levels. Like there's no reason for us to be doing oil and gas development at one time. Green resources. The only reason that this company Enbridge is pushing it forward is they see a $1.2 trillion price tag on these dirty tar sands oil up there. In the meantime, it's going through native lands, treaty lands. There's man camps. There's an increase in missing and murdered Indigenous women and children. It's a disaster on so many different levels.
Fantastic. Thank you.
People over 5 line! People over 5 line! People over pipeline! Over pipeline! People over pipeline! People over
There are people home taking photos.
Yeah,
Sister,
they're home.
do you have some words you'd like to tell the world?
Yeah, so my people, my relatives, stay strong out there. You know, the fight is hard, and sometimes you feel like you're not heard, but you're not alone, and we're all standing with you. Even though you don't physically see us there, we are there with you. Our ancestors are there with you. Our mothers there with you, you know, and keep going strong. In Lakota, we say, "Lahechia yellow, be strong." And they say, "Keep tapo, remember who you are." So, that's it.
Did I hear you say you built a solar farm? Did you build a solar farm?
Tessa
Tessa.
built the solar farm.
Okay, I need to talk to her as well. Thank you. Is that you? Hi, I'm Brian.
Hi.
So I have some people commenting about the fact that they think we're out here protesting, for example, to tell everybody to shut the heat off in their houses. And you're telling, I heard you say you built a solar farm in Denver. We'll give this a second, huh? Somebody showed their face in the window and it energized everybody, for sure. So while they're getting the hot cocoa passed out there, tell me about this. What's special about tar sand, this pipeline, and why it needs to be terminated?
So the tar sands are located up in Cree territory in Canada. Those are my relatives, the Meadows people. And the tar sands are the most, they're crude. They're most difficult to process, you know, to refine, to be used as energy or diesel or anything like that. So it's really, you have to put in so much energy just to get a little bit out. And so that tar sand is going to be passed through Minnesota, which is Anishinaabe territory, which is my land and my people. And so we're out here. We're out here to say that's not acceptable, and we don't want your dirty tar sand on our territory.
So this tar sand, what is it used for? What kind of is this heating and gas in our houses? Is this car oil for driving?
I think it's like it can be refined into oil, into energy, but usually what heats our homes is natural gas. It's
Right.
a little bit different.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you telling our audience that today. Now, my history and knowledge of tar sands is that they're a water-intensive consumer. So basically, if you had like the resin from your bong, maybe you don't smoke weed, but there are people on the stream who do, or maybe an engine that has sat for a really long time, and you empty the oil out of it, and it's really thick and it's lacking in water, then you have to add water to make it move. Because tar and sand don't just flow in a pipeline. Now, the land we're talking about, the ancestors' land in the nation known as Canada, in the borders of it, that is that's some really beautiful area up there. Untouched earth.
The boreal forest is out there. They have to destroy a lot of the boreal forest to even get to the tar sands, to extract it from the earth. And you're right, when you pass it through the pipeline, you need exorbitant amount of water to flush it through because it's so, there's sand particles in that tar sands. And then further, they're highly corrosive to the pipelines. It's not a question of if these pipelines will burst or break or leak, but just a question of when. So that's what we're here to say. You can't have these pipelines built through our territories and we just sit back and wait for a spill. Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes.
It is.
Those lakes produce our food. Wild rice comes from these waters.
Right.
And our subsistence living, we rely on the water for fishing and for wild rice. It's a way of life.
Yeah.
So we're here to say, we don't want the Line 3 pipeline. We don't want the Keystone pipeline or the Denslow pipeline.
And I think that's also important because we talk about that pipeline and where it goes. It's not only set to like go through thousands of miles of indigenous lands, then it's connected to the Mississippi.
Pipeline 3 has got to go! Pipelines get directed to Lake Superior. The Great Lakes are some of our last cleanest waters. They're not even that clean. So we don't want this oil going to Lake Superior.
That's very, very true. Thank you for your time.
Pipeline 3 has got to go! 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 Pipeline 3 has got to go!
Hey, if people want to learn about your solar farm, because I want to learn more about it, where can they go? Is there a website or anything?
You can support groups like Grid Alternatives, Grid Tribal Program. They build solar initiatives based on donations.
Grid, 12th and Mariposa?
I think so.
And
We built a solar farm north of Boulder to offset the cost for low-income housing. It's possible. You can heat your homes with solar energy.
fantastic. I'm gonna attack them. I'm across the street from Grid every Saturday. How's it going? Wow, this is a beautiful piece of art.
Thank you.
What, yeah, we got it in the view too. Tell us about it.
Well, I stayed up until midnight painting it, and I wasn't sure what was going to come out, and this is what came out, and it seems to sum it up.
Line 3 seems to be black there, angry. Life, the third generation seems to be coming out. That's what I'm perceiving.
Yeah, I made the water as a pregnant woman.
Ah, nice. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
You spent all night painting it.
Until midnight, yeah.
Okay. And what were your meditations? Can I ask? Like, what were you're out here today, you painted a beautiful, amazing piece of art for this action today. And maybe others, but what's your inspiration?
Well, a few years ago, I had a near-death experience. And in that experience, I realized that I am completely connected to everything around me. I'm not separate from it. The universe is a conscious living being, and I'm a part of it. And I see it as all of our purpose to stand for what is good and to nurture and heal and protect And so that's why I'm out here today, because none of this is separate from me. And I just want to make sure that we can have a livable environment for the next generation and the next generations, because it's all connected.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, women. I will be seeing everyone.
Oh.
Just an okay place to stand.
You look great.
Thank you.
Would you be willing to tell us who you are, why you're out here today?
Yeah, my name is Jesse. I am with a group called Collective for Another World. I'm here today because the Line 3 pipeline is like the worst thing that's happening right now with regard to the environment and violating Indigenous treaties. And here in Colorado, we got to do something about it as well.
So, what do you hope to achieve through this action today?
Definitely, I think two main things. One, like letting Teresa Madden, the board member of Enbridge, letting her neighbors know that she is participating in the Line 3 pipeline project. And so there's an awareness raising side of this, right? And then also demanding that Madden herself like takes a stand within Enbridge as one of the board members and is like, yo, maybe we shouldn't do this, so that she takes a stand against it.
Okay.
It's a long shot, but.
How long has the pipeline been being built now?
Ooh, that's a good question. So the pipeline is actually pretty old. Right now it's like a replacement segment of the pipeline. I think it's maybe like 300 miles or so.
300 miles of pipeline they're replacing.
Yep.
And so the argument is the investment replacing the pipeline equitable to the planet, the water sources?
Yeah. So like the people who work for Enbridge and are doing the Line 3 project are trying to say that the replacement will be safer. But the only reason that, you know, the pipeline itself needs to be replaced is because tar sands oil is going through it. And like, that's like a thick sludge and there's like additional chemicals that have to be used to like push it through the pipeline.
Okay. Yes, I've been talking about this today, and I understand that tar, I equate some people to trying to picture something either like out of the bottom of their bong or like an engine that sits for years, and then you open up the oil and it's like a thick ooze, and then you blend that with sand at the beach, and that's the essence of tar sands. So we're adding water to liquefy it. We're poisoning that water because it's never usable again. We're putting this corrosive agent through primary water sources that actually source much of the United States of America. And I don't want to ask why should we care in Colorado? Our water here in Colorado is under contract to go all the way down to the Mississippi and ends up in the Gulf of Mexico by constitution and agreements when they were creating the states and colonizing all of the Americas. So the water coming out of this the where this pipeline goes crosses the Mississippi River more than once, at least twice. Should somebody in Cincinnati or St. Louis care about that?
I mean, oh God.
Yes.
Thinking about the Mississippi is that, yeah, I think so. I think everybody who like any little tributary that comes off of the Mississippi River should be concerned about the water that they are either drinking or engaging with in a recreational way, or if they're fishing, like, absolutely. And like, even though, yeah, I don't think here in Colorado we are gonna like necessarily get water from the Mississippi River, but like it's still like that's one of the biggest rivers in the world, right?
Yeah, and we should care about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. I see some signs in the back saying wrap it up. So thank you very much for the interview. We look forward to being out here again next week, hopefully, and maybe it'll be 2 degrees or warmer.
Fucking hope so.
Have a great day.
2 degrees would be double what it was today. That'd be great. Thanks, everybody.
4 degrees, please.
I guess, folks, that's it. We're at the hour mark. Everybody's going to go to jobs now. Have a great day.